Hello and welcome to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs, the series where we cover some of the best Easter eggs found in video games. In today's video we hit the horror movie reference jackpot in the Happyhills Homicide, we pay a visit to Todd's house in Oblivion Remastered, and we learn that Coltrane runs on whole grain in Gears of War 3. As always, if you think you know of an Easter egg, secret or hidden detail that I'm yet to cover, then let me know in the comments, and if I use it in a video, I'll feature your name in the credits. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Now, if I'm being honest, this next game and its Easter eggs probably don't count as Easter eggs. I know that makes zero sense, so allow me to explain. The Happyhills Homicide is a love letter to all things horror, particularly horror movies. You play as a serial killer who definitely isn't a nod to Michael Myers, who kills in some pretty brutal ways. Here's the thing. You also play as the detective tasked with tracking the killer down, which means you get to see events unfold from both perspectives. Now, given that this game is so upfront about its love of the genre, of course there are going to be references to horror movies, and to be honest, finding them did feel like shooting fish in a barrel. But I enjoyed this game so much that I thought I'd share them anyway. First up, we have Bates Motel, which is a reference to the same motel seen in the classic Alfred Hitchcock movie, Psycho. I'm pretty sure there was also a spin-off TV show which was actually called Bates Motel. Next up, we have Elm Street, which is of course a nod to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies starring the dream-haunting, sweater-wearing Freddy Krueger. At an amusement park, you're greeted by Ghostface from the Scream movies, and after heading inside, you can find the masks of Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Ghostface, and Michael Myers from Halloween hanging on the wall. Heading back to Bates Motel, inside one of the rooms is a TV that references The Ring and its creepy TV. Finally, and perhaps most debatably, this scarecrow is a reference to Jeepers Creepers. Or at least I think it is. This is the reference that I'm most unsure about. I mean, for a free game, the Happyhills Homicide is really fun, so if you love horror movies and brutal kills, it might be worth a playthrough. Now, despite being one of the most beloved RPGs of all time, I haven't actually covered any Easter eggs from Oblivion on this channel. I know, I'm just as surprised as you are. Well, now that the remaster is here, there is no better time than right now to see what I've been missing. First up, after entering the first Oblivion gate in Kvatch, you can find this. So this charred corpse is a reference to Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith, where Anakin Skywalker suffered the same fate. Easter egg hunting experts may also recall that a similar Easter egg could also be found in Starfield, which was also developed by Bethesda. This means that either someone at Bethesda is a really big fan of the Star Wars prequels, or well, I don't know. The other Oblivion Easter egg that I found, well so far at least, requires the use of our good old friend console commands. If you bring up the console on PC and enter COC Todd Test, you'll be teleported to a location with several NPCs just standing around, including this big guy who looks like he shouldn't be messed with. Nearby you can find Todd's house, and if you go inside you can speak to this guard.
I knew one day someone with unyielding virtue would heed my words and speed my release. You risked much to perform such a selfless act.
I mean, apart from the strangely chill NPCs, nothing about this test area seems that strange. Well, if you start speaking to the guard, his voice may sound familiar.
What? That really pisses me off. Oh no, what do we do? I'm so scared. Fabulous. That's great. Good for you. When? I didn't know that. How can this be?
So the voice that can be heard when selecting each of the emotions is actually Todd Howard. You know, the executive producer of Oblivion and the director of Skyrim and Starfield. That Todd Howard. Despite his illustrious career full of great games, I know Todd as the man with a brown leather jacket, and as the man who said it just works.
All of this just works.
But if you've ever played a Bethesda game at launch, you'll know that things rarely just work. Now, despite being the home of loads of Easter eggs, there was always something missing from Cyberpunk 2077. And no, it's not the main character from Hades 2. For ages I couldn't put my finger on it. Then it dawned on me. Cyberpunk 2077 never had a proper Back to the Future Easter egg. I know, one of the most referenced movies in all of games, missing from a game that references pretty much everything pop culture. Surely that can't be true. Well, thanks to one of the game's many updates, this glaring oversight has now been fixed. If you go to the docks at nighttime, you can find this. So two people are playing a game of chicken, with the winner speeding off into the night. But what about the loser? Well, if we explore the sunken vehicle, we can find an archived conversation between Jen and Needles. Here, they speak of someone called Marty, who apparently died playing chicken. Now, if you've ever watched any of the Back to the Future movies, you'll know that Marty McFly hated being called a chicken.
What's wrong, McFly? Chicken?
And in Back to the Future Part 3, Needles tried to goad Marty into a race by calling him a chicken.
What's the matter? Chicken?
The Jen in the conversation log is a reference to Marty's girlfriend, Jennifer Parker. So it's assumed that these events take place in a timeline where Marty died and Jennifer ended up with Needles, which along with Biff killing Marty's dad and banging Marty's mum in Back to the Future Part 2, has to be one of the darkest timelines. Speaking of Back to the Future, up next is Stalker II. Now, it's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to find weird things in the world of Stalker 2, but have you ever seen something like this? So at this location on the map, you can find a stretch of train track on fire. This is a reference to this scene from Back to the Future Part 3. I mean, if we're going to start getting Back to the Future references in games that aren't just a DeLorean, then I'm all for it. Anyway, next up at this location on the map, you can find this. Now, I'm not going to say anything, but I want you to tell me who or what you think this doll looks like. So what do you think? Well, to me at least, this doll looks like Chucky. No, not that one, this one from the movies about the killer doll. I mean, I could be wrong and it could just be a regular doll, so let me know what you think in the comments. The final Easter egg from Stalker 2 is actually really cool. At this location on the map, you can find this. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, damn, I should really check out Captain Eggcellent's Patreon using the top link in the description to get free games, my name at the end of every video, and access to a super duper exclusive Discord server. And I agree, but you're also probably thinking, so what? It's just a campfire. Well, convenient question asking viewer, this is actually a reference to the main menu of Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. Well, it's more of a recreation than it is a reference. I don't know why, but I think this is really cool. Right, let's end today's video with the excellent Gears of War 3. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22, and I'm also really wanting a new Gears of War game. So to try and satisfy my hunger for all things Gears, I loaded up Gears of War 3 and found this next Easter egg. During the Homecoming mission, you can find a shop display featuring Augustus Cole, which is who you're playing as. Before things went bad, Cole was a star athlete, so him endorsing cereal makes sense. If you interact with the display, you'll hear this.
The Coal Train runs on whole grain, baby! Wow!
So it's confirmed that Coal Train runs on whole grain, baby. Well, if you repeatedly interact with the display, eventually this will happen.
The Coal Train runs on whole grain, baby! Wow! The Coal Train runs on whole grain, baby! Wow! Delta Squad is in your house, bitch! You hear that shit? Your grubby ass bitches are going down! Like way down! Dead down! So down you ain't gonna even know which way is up! Your ass is gonna be crying to your skink ass queen! Oh, mommy, you let the bad man hurt us! Fuck you! We gonna whoop your mama's ass! Wow!
So that speech is the same speech that Cole gave in Gears of War 2. I mean, even out of context, it's still pretty awesome. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Remember, we are still trying to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, so if you could subscribe and help me out, that would be awesome. YouTube seems to think that you'll enjoy the video on screen, so go ahead and check that out. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.